Hi everyone, my name's Lily. I'm the book reviewer behind Utopian State of Mind, and today I'm bringing you my March wrap up. So, this is out of focus. I am really sorry about that. I checked it, and only as I was editing it did I realize this. I didn't show any of the projects in depth, so I think you should be okay and not missing any details. I'm really sorry about it. I will try not to have it again, but maybe view this one more as a podcast and less as a video. This one's gonna be a little bit chaotic. I'm just gonna issue a quick disclaimer before I start. This one is full chaos. Okay, so let me just start off with how March was. March was extremely stressful. I've been ramping up getting ready for April, basically all of March. I'm going to be in New York City for a little bit of April, and so I've been planning and getting things ready and getting my reading schedule ready and getting a lot of earrings made so that when I go to different events that I'm going to be going to in New York City, I can give them out to people. I've been also trying to get through some knitting projects as well. It is just a lot. Also, we've been ramping up for a read along as well. So it's just like March was chaotic. March was chaotic and stressful as I was getting ready for all of these different things all happening. And so I feel like all of March, I feel like all of March, I've gone to bed exhausted, just like turn my Kindle off, fully put my head on the pillow and just pass out. And also wake up exhausted. So it's just been a lot. March has been. I don't think April and May are going to be much better. April has the New York City trip, and May I'm going to a wedding where I am the maid of honor. Yeah, that's what it is, maid of honor. That has also been a lot of a lot of things to do in March as well. So it's just been like March was getting prepped for roughly April and May. And I don't think there'll be much of a letdown until the end of May, probably, when all of the things are kind of fully gone through and I've sort of recovered from that. I feel like June will be a recovery month, but like I'm not looking forward to the summer because it's some of my least favorite months in terms of heat. So, it just March has been a lot. What have I made in March? I've made a lot of clay earrings. You'll see that content and a lot of book looks. You'll see that content coming soon on TikTok. I'm trying to film more earring content because a lot of people have been asking me about it and are very interested in it. So you'll be seeing a lot more of that content on TikTok. I'll leave the links down below, and Instagram. But I've been making a lot of earrings. I've been remaking my secret Shanghai earrings, specifically these Violet Delights and Our Violet Ends. I was the least happy with how these turned out in the original one, which I did like 3 years ago. And so I remade them and I'm loving them. I love them so much more now. But yeah, I was remaking those. I had to remake a Violet Things one. I made ones for Eyes of Kings. And I'm remaking the one for Foul Lady Fortune, Foul Heart Huntsman as well. Also, I don't have copies of these earrings, so I wanted to make copies as well of mine for me as well as Chloe. So, like, I'm just doing a lot of different things. It also takes a ton of time to make these earrings and plan them out. So, yeah. In terms of knitting, I finished the Seasons of Change. Wait, no. Yes, last month I finished Season of Change. This month I did the Gallant sweater. I don't have any footage for you already because I've been moving stuff around, getting ready. So I will put clips of the Gallant sweater in my April wrap up, and I will also do a little short. So I will upload that to my channel in short so I can show you what it looks like, the Gallant sweater, once it's done. It looks so good because I took yarns from my Seasons of Change jumper. I think that's what it's called, jumper, sweater, and I put them together in a stripe pattern, and I really liked it, and I think I have enough more to do kind of a short sleeve version of it, but that'll be kind of like a June project. Ironically, going to be knitting with kind of the bulkiest yarn ever in summer. My solstice I don't remember what it's called. My solstice slipover, I have it all seamed now and I'm doing the arms. I will finish that in April and you will see that in the April wrap up. I really, really, really hoped I would finish it in March. But if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I hate seaming. So I actually had someone else seam this, and I just had to wait for them to be ready. So you'll see that in the April wrap up, my slipover, and hopefully you will enjoy that. So I don't think I'll be merely knitting anything in April. It would be so chaotic, but I will be making some earrings for an upcoming collaboration. Super exciting, but an upcoming collaboration. So that's what you'll see, and that's what I did kind of in March. If you want to see more pictures of the earrings or more content of that, follow me on Instagram or TikTok, and also I will leave my March carousel wrap up in the link below. Let's talk about favorite books. I have no favorite books to show you because I have taken photos of them, like pass them on to book blogger friends, move them onto my shelves. I don't even have copies of my favorite ones because I literally don't know what it is. I was looking for to get ready for this while I was putting on my makeup, and I don't know where they are. I actually am a little bit worried because I really have no idea where I put them, but suffice it to say, let's just go to stats. I'm so close to being on target for my stats. I read 48% with BIPOC main characters as main characters, or BIPOC characters as main characters, and 39% of those featuring queer characters as main characters. So, like, honestly, little, round of applause for almost getting there. I'm so close, like 2%. So close. Actually, wait. I think I might have done it because I'm not done writing the reviews. I have to write reviews today. But I realized that I didn't put in the stats for the last 3 books that I'm reading. And I'm pretty sure 2 of them have BIPOC characters as main characters, which would have put me up to the 50%. So I'm just, I'm going to retcon myself and just say that I got it because, as I said, I don't think I put those in my stats because normally I put all of that stuff in when I've written the reviews, and I haven't written the reviews before I film this one because I just got to take advantage of the light as I can when I can. So yeah, I'm just going to say that I did it because I'm pretty sure that I did based on those statistics. I had a favorite reading month that was kind of like all over the place. It has a bunch of kind of horror and fantasy and fiction and YA and just contemporary, like it's all over the place. Nothing really is in the same genre. So, normally I can kind of say my adult favorites or my YA favorites. No. This month, none of them group up. Like the chaos in my life and in my brain onto the reading pages. I've really, really, really been trying to listen to my audiobooks on NetGalley. My phone just completely gave up. Like my keyboard stopped working for about a week. My phone gave up. And then I realized that I had not been receiving any updates for the last 3 years. Like that's how old my phone has been. I didn't even buy it 3 years ago. Yeah, so I had to listen to a lot of audiobooks that were on my phone that I downloaded that I can't download anymore. I didn't actually even make it before my phone just gonna like blurp. But that's why it's kind of all over the place as well. I also have been trying to read more of my physical books. I know that I've been talking to you all about that, and it is a commitment I'm making this year at the end of 2026. I really want to end this year with fewer books in my physical TBR than ever. That's my goal. It's my goal every year, and I'm sure it's everyone else's goal every year, but this year I'm like, so many shelves. You can see my favorite shelves behind me, but I have other shelves, and you'll see that in my bookshelf tour. I will link that down below, but most of the shelves that I'm looking at now are TBR. I have like a whole TBR bookshelf over there. I'm pointing over there. And I need space on it. And so I'm done. I'm done with it. It just has to go. I need space. So that's why this month was kind of all over the place. So I don't even know what order. Let's just go from YA to adult. The first one is The Faraway In by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a YA book. And to be fair, Sarah Beth Durst has written YA books in the past, but this is just the recent YA book, and it is so cute. I want to get it for my mom. It is so cute. If you love kind of the gorgeous character work from The Enchanted Greenhouse, what is the spell shop, the spell shop, the enchanted greenhouse, and I haven't read Sea of Charms, but the character work there is present in the Faraway Inn. In the Faraway Inn, basically the main character, she goes to visit her aunt, and her aunt has this magical in B&B kind of thing, and she's trying to figure out what the magic is. And also her aunt's kind of like, you have 3 days and then you have to go, like, I don't want you here. And so it's kind of her figuring out what has happened between her aunt and her mom, and also what's going on at the inn. And she's also trying to kind of figure out what her next steps, what does she want in life. So that's kind of the plot of the Faraway Inn. And also I love the idea of a magical inn that someone is coming to and they don't really know why it's magical. Also, family is a huge theme here, and kind of family that you betray, a family that you need, like family that doesn't support you, finding your own voice, finding your place in the world, finding your place in a family, and finding a home away from home kind of thing. Those are all themes in the Faraway Inn. I also love a is it like I don't know if I can say it because I think it might be a spoiler, but I like this type of fantasy magic that we see in the Faraway Inn. I think that's all I can say without it being spoilers, but I like that. And so this was just so cute. I liked also the character journey that we saw, and it was so swoony. Like, this one I read pretty late. Like, I think I finished it only a couple days ago, and it was such a great kind of end of the month read to end on. The next one is an adult fiction contemporary. I don't read a lot of those, so this one was fun. It is The Library of Borrowed Hearts. I think this could be a little bit polarizing because, first of all, I recommend it to my mom, and my mom is loving it so far. So that's, first of all, double thumbs up from my mom and I. But I saw a lot of reviews of this where people were like, well, not a lot of things happen. I will say that it's super character focused, but I love a good book that zooms out in perspective. So basically, in The Library of Borrowed Hearts, basically our main character, she is supporting her and her siblings because her mom is basically pieced out, and she finds this book that she wants to sell because it's like a really rare edition. And then when she opens it, she finds all these notes from these two people who are having a conversation. Lo and behold, she finds out that her neighbor, who, like, think up vibes, right? Her neighbor, super grumpy old man, that's him in one of those perspectives. And she kind of just mind blown because he is grumpy. He takes their frisbees that they by accidentally throw in their yard and they never get them back. And she kind of realizes, well, there's so much more behind this story, behind this character or this person in her life. What happened between the pages of this book and this man. So The Library of Borrowed Hearts is her figuring out this. It is an ode to the love of reading, the love of libraries, the love of how stories and characters can just like reach into your heart and just scoop it out and like trot on it and put it back in. Like, angsty romance teen, think about the Notebook vibes. There's multiple perspectives and it zooms out. So it starts off with the main character, and I think her name is Chloe, the main character, and it zooms out and we see all these other perspectives. There's a past timeline. Like, it has things going on as they unravel it, but it's a lot quieter than you might think, and it's so deeply devoted to character dynamics and character evolution and growth, and characters kind of trying to figure out what is worth love and like what's worth forgiveness and second chances, and what is kind of makes life, it feels weird to say like life worth living, but it kind of what makes happiness versus contentment, I guess. It is so cute. I really loved it. I listened to this on audiobook, and I basically only got halfway through before I got a copy for my mom, because I think that it's just such a story about, as I said, there's all these quotes from books and all these ways that, you know, it has such a romancy, angsty, as I said, the Notebook level vibes, kind of like the I wrote you every day and they're like, I never got a single letter, those kinds of romance vibes in the past. But yeah, the way that kind of love can bring us together and pull us apart, and like, is that worth it, basically? I really loved it. It was so, every night I wanted to read it more, and like, well, every time I wanted to listen to it when I was doing errands or walking or whatever, and I would like, even if I could only listen to it for a couple minutes, I wanted to do that. And so that's why it's in my favorites. Now we have a historical fiction fantasy. I don't have my copy. I literally have no idea where it went. I loved it. I did a makeup look. I will leave that down below. But it's The Girl with a Thousand Faces. I have been excited for this for so long. This is such a beautiful blend of historical fiction and fantasy. Basically, the main character, I just, some books it's hard to describe without spoiling it. The main character can hear ghosts. And so she is kind of like, but not in the like, we'll all have forgiveness, but like, oh, I hear your revenge fantasies. I hear how you were wronged, and I'm gonna just let you have at it. Kind of ghost speaker vibes, ghost hearer. Because I don't think she can really like speak to them, but it's ghost like listener. And so she does this, and then she kind of figures out that something bigger and badder is coming for this city, and her past as well is like coming for her as well. She kind of woke up with amnesia and she had no idea who she was. And so the story is about figuring out kind of the role of the city. It just, what I love about this one is it is so grounded in the historical fiction of the city, in the wars in the past, the cycle of trauma that we see. I don't remember like what specific year this one is set in, but it is one of those beautiful examples of a historical fantasy that really, really is cemented into the historical fiction setting and the ways that the world is haunted by what has happened in the past. And also, like, it's a book about ghosts, but it's a book about hauntings. Not only how a community, a place, a city can be haunted, how a person can be haunted about their past. It just blooms into such a gorgeous, lyrical, atmospheric book. I'm trying to see what year. I don't think it says in the synopsis. But it's basically post World War II, but kind of like in the thick of World War II, and then post a bit, but super, super raw. But there's no distinct year in the synopsis. But I really, really loved it. I don't know, why can't I see my review of this? I adored this one. Here it is. I adored this one. It was so lyrical, and it takes you in places you were not expecting. Like, I love a book that really has a twist that you're really not expecting. I wasn't expecting it, and it was so good. So yeah, The Girl with a Thousand Faces. I had such high hopes for this book, and this book it went above and beyond. I loved it so much. And the last one is Japanese Gothic, which I forgot I even read in March because I read it very, very soon in March, and lo and behold, I loved it. Like, I have really, really loved Kylie Lee Baker's books in the past, and Japanese Gothic was such an interesting departure. So Cora Zhang is Kylie Lee Baker's first horror adult debut, and so Japanese Gothic is a second one. And so I really wasn't sure what to expect, but it's really interesting because it kind of also is rooted in historical fiction setting. It's not as, it's specific, but it's not as like, how do I describe it? Basically, in our time period, we have a main character, and he's gone to Japan, and he is sort of running from his own ghosts, his own past, his own kind of like unreliable narrators, huge theme. But he is kind of running from that. He goes with his family to Japan, and there he meets this mysterious girl in his house. And he finds out, though, that she is in the past. So I don't think that's too much of a spoiler because you find out about that relatively early on. But yeah, so it was just a book that, like, her story is relatively contained within a specific moment in the past, but I wouldn't say it's as definitely rooted to the past as, like, The Girl with a Thousand Faces. But this one was so atmospheric. I also loved the interplay between these two characters and the ways that you're really never even sure what's happening. Like, I felt like a little bit like that with Cora Zhang and Bad Eater, basically. But I felt even more like this with Japanese Gothic, where I'm kind of, even at the end, I'm like, I don't know fully what's happening and if what's happening is what I think what's happening. But I really enjoyed going along for the ride, and seeing the ways that Kylie's writing style and sort of the way that Kylie is willing to take risks with, like how that has evolved. It just is so atmospheric. I love this very specific house that ties these two characters together. I like this idea of a setting which becomes a character in and of itself, and Japanese Gothic 100% fulfills that. It felt in some ways very nostalgic, like very much reminding me of those really old horror movies, which have totally scarred me from when I was a middle schooler, which where the house and the atmosphere and the creepiness like just get you. They wrap their hand around you and they have you in their grip. And so Japanese Gothic has that, but it also has this unreliability aspect to it, which I really enjoyed. So I really loved this one. It was something that I read early on and has sort of captivated me. I cannot wait for my own copy of this one. That is one of the events that I'm going to in New York City, and so I'm so excited for it. So those were my favorite reads from March. Let me know down below what some of your favorite reads from March. Honestly, when I was looking at the books I read in March, I was kind of like, is this even the same month? I feel like March, April, May will just be months that just kind of fly by where I don't even remember basically when I read what, when I thought what, when I did what. I really rely on my phone to kind of keep track of that and keep track of when I went and saw this or when I did this. I've been trying to be a lot better about being like a vlogger and focusing kind of on that a little bit more, but I'm not doing a great job at it. I'm trying to be better, but I'm not where I want to be yet. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed. As I said, I'm intrigued to know what some of your favorite reads were for March, and I will see you in the next I'll see you in the next video, whatever that is. I hope you have a really great rest of your reading day, week, month, and year. I'll see you later. Bye.